Hello, we are here. We are streaming. This is Games for You, a channel wherein I either play video games or plan tabletop RPG stuff. Hello, how are y'all doing? Hopefully, we've got some cool people who are not bots, although bots are welcome. I would love to see some non bot action, especially in the chat. Let's see. I've got some stuff going on in that I will be doing some planning today specifically for some handful of games, as some of them have not happened since the last time, but we will talk about that momentarily. We did a lot of planning for our prior game, or no, sorry, we did a lot of planning yesterday for the Sunday game, which didn't end up happening for the reasons that I needed to keep doing like heavy planning on that game, but I feel way better about it now. But I am excited. I think it is imminently doable. I was a little worried that I was going to be maybe not feeling super great about it, maybe not wanting to do it, but we will get there. We will make it happen. All right. Sorry, I'm just finishing up a few things, grabbing a thing or two. I did go to the convenience store and I purchased beer and candy because why not? Sweet, it'll be a while before I can listen. Yeah, no worries. Thank you for being here. It was cool to have you in the chat yesterday, and I'm glad to have you back today. I'm just going to dig into this candy bar. Open this can of beer. Oh, oh, oh. Had a little bit of an overflow issue. So, as I'm enjoying this candy and beer, what's your favorite candy? But all right, here we go. We will, as usual, start with the Monday game. Um, hmm. We are vacillating between Out of the Abyss and and Tenets of Bane. Tenets of Bane is to bring in a new player. I thought we were going to get multiple new players, but it's just the one. So we'll see. That could be fun if we end up doing that. Right now, comma, out of the abyss is the prominent one. So far, group went into Underdark, saved Lindenstone. Hello! Good evening, and the tweet notification scheme worked. That's fantastic. I'm glad that it did. I'm glad you are here. So the group went into the Underdark, saved Lindenstone, saved Sloopladop from itself, got a talking sword, crossed the Dark Lake, met a beholder named Meatmax, went to Neverlight Grove, saw Zugmoy arranging her wedding, and then met with Aromikos. Now, the group went to the astral plane to fight against Zugmoy to save Aromikos and Garymikos, son of Aromikos. You did seem to have linked to a different channel than yours, love. Oh, hell. Let's fix that. It came up with my picture when I did it. Oh, god damn it. It's because I did it on the iPad. Let me redo it. Let's see if it works this time. Yep, it's working. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Had another bite of candy. Now I'm having another drink of beer. All right. Good times. So the group's going to have a big fight with Zugmoy in the astral plane. How are we going to handle this? Aromikos will quote-unquote cast Tensor's transformation on everyone. 50 temp HP, 2 attacks if they only have 1, but they can still cast spells. Am I a useful sidekick or what? You absolutely are, Lenny, so thank you. So the group is level 6. With 50 extra temp hit points between all of them, they might be able to do this. I guess it depends on how many people are going to be there. If there's only 2, then I think I'll do that. I'll make Zugtamoy half as strong. On the off chance that Zugtamoy wins, the player characters can flee, or, well, yeah, they can flee, but they'll have a big problem on their hands. So I guess Sidekick isn't really appropriate. I guess I'm more like your faithful bunny girl maid, or something like that. I'm absolutely okay with that, Looney. Do you have bunny ears? I'd ask you if you had the maid outfit, but I know you do. Or I would assume. If Zugtamoy loses, she will retreat, possibly into the labyrinth. The labyrinth that later in the game will contain the maze engine, and that should be interesting. In fact, I could just replace the fight between Baphomet and Yinogu with Zugtamoy and Juiblex. So that should be fun. So I forget the name of it, but there's a library in the Underdark. And the group can go there as their next bit of the adventure. And that's, we'll write that down. That's where they learn about the demon incursion and can research the Illithid hive. So that should be fun. Don't have the bunny ears yet. That is likely to change within the year, however. I like that emoji. Okay, I think that's all that I need to say about that. The Monday game. We still have some bits about... Oh yeah, I need to do this. I kind of sort of did, but not yet. Sorry, I'm having a white chocolate Hershey's with almonds, and it's so good. but I have finished it, and there shall be no further interruptions. Sorry, oh, that's so good. Mm, okay, so we move on to our Tuesday game, which is Wrath and Glory, Warhammer 40k. We've done a tremendous amount of planning. It's due to start tomorrow. Um, Torquemada Space Armada. That deserves a highlight. All right, so in planning this one, we need to add some more NPCs, I think. Let's see. Question of the day. I guess my favorite would be camotes. Ooh, those are good. And yes, I am very well aware of the naughty double entendre. No, I'm okay with it because I mean my orientation is painfully obvious. Well, and I might be asking a terrible question, but I don't know the double entendre there. I can guess, but I don't know for sure. All right, so rich lady. Let's figure out who the rich lady is. Is she going to be a Veldin? I don't think I want it to be. But maybe someone closely tied in, like maybe the sister-in-law of a Veldin. Um, Lady Hyacinth. A long, a noble with a um, thoroughbred lineage. Can trace family to 200 years ago, when they came from Terra. What else do we want to know about her? Okay. I figured my innuendo detecting part of my brain kind of figured that, but I was not sure. Anyhow, let's see. Lady Hyacinth, noble with thoroughbred lineage. Um, let's see. Let's call her mean but desperate. Oh, sorry. Just readjusting in my chair. Okay, mean but desperate needs. Dang it. Needs to figure out a series of murders on a let's call it Giga Farm on planet. If group can solve murders, the art installation that contains the map piece is theirs. Hyacinth may ask to go with them on their adventures and promises to be a crack shot with a lasgun. Approximately, let's say 50 human or Terran years old. Let's say married to the family, not Veldin, and used to be a bounty hunter in a neighbor. Well, no, that doesn't make any sense. Now it makes sense. Husband's family has a 200-year lineage. She married into it. She was actually okay, so she used to be. You made it. Yes, you made it. Hooray! So Lady Hyacinth used to be a bounty hunter. The galaxy where she used to bounty hunt was devoured by the Cicatrix Maledictum, or Great Rift. Kind of sad that her exploits were effectively wiped out. Wants to create new ones. So Lady Hyacinth was actually, I like this so far, she was actually like a bounty hunter with like some real renown. But because the galaxy where she earned that renown is gone, very few people actually remember who she is or what she did. And while that's good because she probably had like some, some people who wanted her dead who now no longer do, she also just regrets that all of that got wiped out. Though if you want a more commercially mainstream candy for the question of the day, this is from the chat. Remember those pieces of hard candy shaped like fruits called runts? They used to sell back in the 80s. I used to like those a lot. Nerds too. I would examine those like they were mainline those like they were cocaine. Oh my god. They had like this weird D&D branded Nerds packaging recently where you could like download free D&D PDFs or something. I had meant to get my hands on some of those. I might have to do that still. I don't think it was anything like crazy good. It was just like some one-shot adventures or whatever, but I think it was neat that they did that. Maybe a ready ally, but depends on group's desire to put up with her. Pretty sure rents are still available. I was gonna say those are the ones that they're shaped like fruits. I bet you can find them. They're just harder to find. Looney, when you come up to Denver, we're gonna have to go to a place called Rocket Fizz. And by the way, if I'm talking weird, it's because I bit my tongue the other day at the back of my mouth, and I might be talking a little bit with a lisp. But anyways, a little bit like a Daffy Duck. There's a place here called Rocket Fizz that sells almost any candy you can think of. If the candy is still in production, and you'd be surprised what is, but if the candy is still in production, they have it. That's the place I go to get my Big League Chew, because nobody else has Big League Chew. All right, I want to put another NPC somewhere. Oh, I need to move Lady Hyacinth because she's not part of the Velden family. So Lady Hyacinth might be a good one to be a patron if they don't decide they want to take her with them. I need one more NPC just so that we can round this out a little bit. I think if I add like an NPC per session, it should be good. Haven't been able to find runts here in Mexico since like 93 or 94. Holy cow. For some reason, they stopped importing them. Man. Probably because they didn't want to risk bringing in any foreign fruits or produce. That's a joke. All right, one more NPC. How about this? Anybody want to pitch a Warhammer 40k NPC? It could be anything. It could be an Eldar. It could be a Tau. Probably not like a Tyranid, but virtually anything else is a game. Not very familiar with Warhammer. That's okay. Even if you just suggest kind of the outline of a character, I'll figure out how they fit in. But how about you, Looney? Any recommendations for an NPC? Space Elf, alright. Okay. So let's talk about a Space Elf. Why not... Brithon Delia. Casverin. Give me a couple minutes to come up with something. That's okay, I'll do two, but Brithon Delia Casverin. Double agent, working with the Drukhari, pretending to be an Eldari scout, forward scout. Will cross paths with the group, realize they have the Necron Tech map, and may lead other Drukhari to them. Will pretend to offer help and may even send the group into a trap. Anyone who knows, let's see, anyone in the group that has knowledge of Drukari may be able to figure out the ruse. Gryphandelia pretends to be a no-nonsense nonsense Eldari woman with no time for pleasantries, but is in reality a sadistic sociopath who wants to create art from, let's just say, innards. That's pretty severe, but that's how the Drukari are. The so-called dark elves or dark Aldari are just real horrible people. Well, I kind of just took Space Elf and ran with it, but if you wanted to contribute a description, you can. Okay, I might be coming up with something. You okay with orcs? No, go for orcs. I figure if she made art from shellacked innards, that would be maybe just the extra little piece de resistance on her art. Smells like shellac. Like, I'll let the group know that she, like, they'll just know right from the start she smells like shellac because she uses it so often. Lithe, beautiful. Okay, I love it. Let's write this down. Lithe, beautiful, touch of madness lurking on her face. Outgoing and sometimes scratches an itch as a little mannerism. Okay, I think she's done. I like the way that that's shaping up. And not for nothing, this music is really great. All right, fast forwarding just a little bit. We're good. So let's see. Rich Lady Hyacinth. Um, wants a murder solved on her Giga Farm. Solve it. Maybe work in a Space Hulk after this adventure. Let's see. Hear me out. Conspiracy theory obsessed orc that's convinced that dousing himself in human blood will give him super speed because oh my god, human blood is red. We'll call him Mercurius Deltor. Conspiracy ridden. Let's see. Theory obsessed orc wants to bathe in human blood because it is red. Always goes to battle buck naked because of blood coverage. But is also civilly shy about his body. I love it. Maybe starts out with a tear off poncho made from old shower curtains. My favorite candy is a payday, but Siri, stop. Oh my goodness. Alright, favorite candy is a payday, but if your Rocket Fizz has any bar none candies I need to know, that's good stuff. I'll have to check the next time I'm there, but I know that they have zeros, and I do not see zeros out in the wild. They have Big League Chew. They have a lot of that old stuff that's like the dollar candy you used to be able to find. Although some of the dollar stores have the good stuff. Like if you remember like the kind of tan and dark striped candies that are like really crunchy peanut candies. I've got zeros at my Walmart. That's awesome. I've said this up and down, but like I wish that they still made Alpine bars. Those were my favorite. But now I just have to make do with the Hershey's that have the almonds in them. All right, Looney. Anything else I should add about Mercurius Deltor? The peanut butter flavored wafer things, but they're not real wafers. I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, that would be right. And whenever said orc goes into battle frenzy, he rips his poncho in two and yells, "What you gonna do when the wog runs all over you, brother?" I'm just, yeah. Goes into battle frenzy. Rips his poncho in two and yells, "What you gonna do when the wog runs wild on you, brother?" That's perfect. Okay, that's great. Um, well, shoot. No, I have time to figure out the second session. Rich lady, Lady Hyacinth. Murder being conducted by a cult that is obsessed with the Great Rift. Not directly worshipping chaos, but indirectly, and may summon a modestly powerful demon. Oh, the links. No, that's okay. Let's see if this link works properly. Since he's a conspiracy nut, he's always trying to sell water filters and dietary supplements to the Umis. Yeah, Atkinson's peanut butter bars wrapped. Like those are easy to find more or less, but like I know I can always get them at Rocket Fizz. Let's see, I'm gonna add that too. As a conspiracy nut, always tries selling water filters and dietary supplements to the Umis. Also has pocket sand. Don't ask where he keeps it. So all right, we need to figure out the let's see. Let's just work on this real quick. Cult leader is the killer. Ostensibly a shift leader of the local work group leading a sector of the Giga Farm. Secretly has a small squad of loyal cultists with, we'll say, 1 psyker and 4 guards that have unlicensed outworld bolters. Prison pocket sand? Yes. Absolutely. 100%. Outworld would be for like non-imperial stuff. Or let's just call it scum. Scum bolters. Let's say cult leader remembers Lady Hyacinth and was an escaped bounty, but now lives under her nose and has plans for her to be ultimate sacrifice to the Grift to make it regress. This plan is doomed to failure. Okay, that's good. I like that as a framework. So they're gonna go into the Giga Farm, and it's gonna be like this wacky arcology of like just growing things constantly. So like, imagine a multi-level greenhouse that's like a skyscraper, only bigger. Like if the Mall of America was an arcology that only grew plants and such, and they're in charge of like 1 quadrant of that Mall of America, or maybe even like a semi-quadrant because it's so big. And so they just operate so many things in there that they can kill people with impunity, more or less. In fact, some of the people have been just buried in the produce as it's growing, and so really they're feeding people like, potatoes that have grown on the blood and carbon of dead bodies. So that's nice. But all right, plan is doomed to failure, so on and so forth. Yeah, there's a lot of really neat stuff in there that I want to showcase for the second game. That should be good. All right, we're going on to Tuesday 2, Klaus the Gnome. Not talking a lot about that. Also, the Demon the Fallen game. Not talking a lot about that. We're going to be going back to those games, or to Klaus the Gnome very soon, and trying to figure out how we want to integrate Demon the Fallen, because I'm kind of going gonzo for that setting from doing some research. I still need to do my homework there, and do a few things in that direction. I need to see if Brava Alphabusa, who did the Emperor has text to speech, he switched from doing Warhammer 40k based material to doing World of Darkness based material, and I'm really eager for him to do his next part of a series he calls Hunter the Parenting, and I really like the first episode. I'm really excited about the second. Sacrifice, I've used that word to bait my PCs into doing something bad because the origin of the word means to make sacred. So this ritual was to anoint and sing and all of that, but the PCs didn't want her killed and they kidnapped her. Oh wow, that's interesting. Let's see. We can I think that's all I need to say about the Tuesday 2 game for now. Wednesday, Dawn of Fae. So let's see. Group is in Gauntlgram. All right. So actually, we can just say group killed Needful Spider and saved the troglodytes. Got rewarded, but maybe. Let me think. There was something about maybe sent on another mission related to, let's just say, Netherese problem further into the Underdark in exchange for the Millennium Seed. We can delete this guy's ugly mug now. Let's see. What are the Netherese doing in the Underdark? That's a really good question. Group sent to uncover an old Netherese science lab gone wrong. Actually, this should be great. I think I can then send them on a little adventure. Shoot. The Faerun are down there. Yeah, they certainly are. This group might not be ready for Faerun. They're, I think, only now 6th level. There's an Eberron adventure. And if I could remember what it was. So did the lab fall out of the sky and get buried under the rock? There's one in the ECS that is an underground city block. ECS? Eberron campaign setting. Oh. Yeah, there. Let's see. Is it that? Come on now. Work with me here. There we go. There's an adventure called the Canith Schematica that I actually play tested a while ago, and it's a pretty neat little kind of pseudoscience lab, and it's perfect. All I need to do is drop it in. You got to go there, and bada bing, bada boom. Should be some neat stuff in there. So let's see. Use Canith Schematica Adventure. Cool. Wednesday 2. Let's see. Oh no, I did the wrong one. Donna Faye. Yeah, I totally screwed this up. I got the wrong ones all mixed up. No, that was last week. I mixed it up last week. Okay. Currently, Big Castle, lots of danger. Amber Temple, Gavardi be somewhere there. Oh my goodness. Okay, no, it's all good. So now, group about to meet Gavardi for the first time in real time. Big boss fight. Maybe end of campaign? Question mark, question mark. Ask about whether this feels like a good stopping point. Just in case people have scheduling issues. And that one's tricky because we have, thank you, we have a lot of scheduling issues due to the fact that, like, it's just hard to schedule people for a weekday game. But I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna see if that feels like a good place to stop. And if not, we'll keep going. We'll see what's what and where's where. All right. So the Thursday game's going really well. Let's see. They're at the Balgor Wasteland. We can go ahead and delete this. Lots of talk. Met Coil Woman. She was a fake. Let's see. Durotan killed her outright, but then it was revealed that she was a Shantiko cultist. Alright. So that means we finished this one. We finished the mating season. I want to add one more event before the Earthshaker. So let's do that. Before Earthshaker. comma, group will reunite with giants, but they will also be running from... Huh. Now here's where it's going to be tricky to figure out. I can do a sandworm, and group will have to convince sandworm to stop, or Wolfpack the ranger to kill or deter it. B, I could go with a demon of some sort. And that would be pretty straightforward. They would do that. Or C, a flock / group of some sort. Maybe Gromek. Actually, I like the Gromek idea. That seems most organic. Now, Gromek are giant, like 12-foot tall dragon people. D, the nothing. That would be hilarious. Gromek are like 12-foot tall dragon people that are like eternal enemies of giants. So why don't we have them run into the Gromek? Let's see. I want to space this up a little bit. We'll say Gromek pledged alliance to the Pontifex. The Pontifex is this like sub-boss level. How big are giants? Giants are like between 24 and 40 feet tall, depending on the giant. I guess 16 and 40 feet. Let's see. Gromek pledged alliance to the Pontifex. May have a few Pontifex allies with them, such as a few cultists. No, a few. Let me see. I think I need to grab one of my books. Oh. Hmm. There's a creepy demon thing that has like the face of a pudgy man and the body of an owl. I can't remember what it's called. There it is. They're called night owls. Not a super creative name, but it's still pretty neat. Pontifex lent an ally, a night owl, to the Gromek. It has the stats equivalent to a Coven of Hags. You can act twice in a round. May survive and harass group. Let's see, Night Owl is named Desolation. Whoops. So that should be fun. That should be a fun encounter. Sorry I haven't been in the chat, but I've been listening. I was peeling shrimp and I couldn't type with shrimpy stuff on my fingers. No, that totally makes sense. That sounds amazing. What are you going to do with those shrimp? And yeah, it's going to be a big flock of Gromek. You typically see Gromek like attacking giants on like a 3-to-1 basis, and they can usually take down a giant if they have a 3-to-1 advantage, which they tend to. Okay. But yeah, that should be a fun encounter. I really want them to meet Desolation. Desolation has a contingency spell to teleport back to the ruins at the center of the Balgor wasteland if reduced to 10% HP or lower. So basically he's safe, no matter what they do unless they disintegrate him. I'm gonna make breaded shrimp and some caldo de camarón tomorrow. Oh my god, I wish I could have some. Probably gonna make it extra hot before the hot weather sets in on Thursday. That makes sense. No, it's snowing again today, by the way, Looney. It is snowing, and they're talking about maybe doing a snow day, which would be funny. But alright, I think that's all we need to really do. The Earthshaker thing with a Lich, it could be 2 combats in a row, which would be fine. But this will make things easy. Like they'll have to fight some hard fights, but if they can manage to get onto the Earthshaker, it will make the rest of the journey relatively easy. Okay. I do still need to do. I'm gonna highlight this because I really need to do some homework on this very soon. Gertrude, we already okay, so we're all good. Peril and a Beer, we're really at the last one. Like the next time we play, that'll be the last game. So that's with the end boss on the Friday game. That's this one. Let's see. We already talked about those things. So that's really it. We're just gonna have a really terrible fight with the Giga Gargantuan Purple Nurple Worm. And we'll talk about the next game and if it even makes sense to have one because similar issues keep cropping up, but we'll talk about that. Saturday. Let's just write this out. Return to Chult. Group destroyed Chernobyl. Got told by Nanny Poo Poo in a dream she would come for them. Oh lordy lord, I wish we could have some snow down here. I'm not fond of hot weather. Yeah. Let's see. Group also almost got killed by a zombie hippo. That was fun. Just sending like this like capital H huge hippo against the group. It reduced someone to 0 hit points and then swallowed them. So that character was making death saving throws in the hippo's gullet. Good times. Let's see, Sunday. So I did a lot of thinking about the Sunday game. Division, like there's some stuff that I need to go over. In fact, the Divinity engine is something that I didn't plan about, but I think I can implement it. Champions of Sinu, that can also be worked in. Okay. Count Bacula, I remember that. Alright, let's build an NPC. Terrence Hollowthorn. Human leader. Wishes to see demons and devils expelled. Sister was killed by occupation force of devils. He will give his life to make occupation harder for the devils. Worships Azrea. Yeah, worships Azrea even though she didn't previously exist. May become cleric? Question mark, question mark? Not sure. Could also just die. Will be a guide for the group when they reach Noragonia, the human city. Good Chult trap a collapsed Triceratops breathing heavily out, a la Jurassic Park. Players get close and a swarm of sturges fly out. They were inside eating away and their motions made it look like it was breathing, and then after they destroy the sturges, the Triceratops becomes a zombie. Oh, that would be so evil. I may have to do that. All right. I think that's, well, let's do one more NPC for the Sunday game. Let's go with Forvinia Sallow Tooth. Elven Outlander leader among her people, works to rid countryside of demonic curse. Has found anchors that can remove demonic incursions, but they require people's souls to power them. She may volunteer. Alternatively, the group may intervene and find other methods of powering the anchors. Maybe through magic items? Question mark, question mark? So Forvinia Sallowtooth, I like that. So you're telling me Count Bacula doesn't have a minion that constantly talks to an unseen entity called Ziggy, who he claims gives him advice? Yes. Yes, he absolutely does. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I think there's more work to be done. I might carve out a different day and I might stream that where I do because Eli, you remember I was talking about this yesterday and trying to figure out like a map which I need to draw and some other things. Here are some of the NPCs that I said I was going to make. Let's just do a dwarven one right now. Um, Brothorius. Um, Hammer Hammerson. Brothorius Hammerson, and he is going to be a village elder. Whoops. Invested in seeing a world that is better for his great grandchildren. Will appeal to um a passive saint of dwarves that he thinks is real. May be involved with a underground passageway that leads to um, the Castle of Whispers. So that should be fun. Yuppers, 5 cities, maybe in a pentagram or something. What does he feel is a better world? Okay. Let's see. Better. This is such a world would not have ooze, or demons or devils in it. Also has knowledge of how to create fiend slaying weapons. So he might be someone who could forge like some fiend slaying weapons for everyone. Okay, I think that's good for now. We'll have more work to do. But in the future, I'll want to devote maybe just a little bit more effort into this Sunday game and feel like maybe when I'm caught up, then I can do a little bit less planning on the weekly. But okay, I think we're good. We are an hour and 15 in. Why don't we go to our question and answer section? And I, as always, encourage anyone who is not a regular chatter to ask questions, but also people who are just here to chat, who have been chatting, please ask questions. You need a saint of dwarves that is just called El Santo, and he wears the holy silver mask. That sounds amazing, actually. Um, El Santo is the dwarven inspired god. Maybe? Question mark? How close are the segregated cities? They're different. They're different distances. So you might get two that are really close to each other but really far from the rest. And we'll probably decide all of that when I start drawing out the map. I might even have like a special like early Sunday stream where I'll do the map drawing, since I'll need it for that day basically. But you would be invited, and I would make an announcement about it probably the Saturday before, if I remember. What's the name of that world building game? I know what you're talking about, and I can't think of what it is. But I should use it. And when El Santo appears a prayer in order to serve people from demonic, or to save people from demonic entities, a distant voice can be heard yelling, "Lucharán a dos de tres caídas, sin límite de tiempo." Wing passes to center. Center back to wing. Wing passes to center. Center holds it. Holds it. Holds it. I really need to work on my goal. Yeah, the quiet year. Let me just write that down. We'll just write that as homework. But yeah, y'all. Any questions about me, my campaigns, D&D in general? Let's No questions. That's okay. You asked lots of questions yesterday, so thank you. La pelota está en el fondo. Gol. Golazo. Oh man, I went to a hockey game last week, and oh man, seeing your hockey team get like just annihilated, that was not fun. But oh well. Looney, any questions for me? Also, anyone who is here who is maybe a lurker and not a bot? I got a question. Give me a sec, says Looney. No rush. I will be sipping on my beer. I'm really sad. I used to be able to get 40s of Miller High Life. Well, they weren't 40s, they were 32 ounces. Now I gotta get the 24-ounce can. What's my favorite candy? So, my favorite candy of ones that no longer exist is probably the Alpine Bar. As I mentioned, which is white chocolate and almonds. But of currently existing candy, probably a Symphony Bar. I really like toffee. Okay, so are the memes true about dwarven women? Are they really canonically bearded? So that's the question. I like the Hershey's nuggets that have the toffee and almonds in them. Oh, they're so good. They are so good, and they look like little treasure chests too. But to the question, are dwarven women bearded? It depends. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. My last dwarf famously had 2 beards. Wow. How do you have 2 beards? Is one of them ingrown? Um but so okay, let me go over it. Dwarven women with beards. 4th edition D&D had canonical bearded dwarven women. The D&D movie had canonical bearded dwarven women. That kind of almost doesn't count. And above and one Oh my god. Well, yes. I guess that would count. That would qualify. Um, let's see. Apocryphally, some other settings and stories spoke of bearded dwarven women. Also, I wouldn't know what it feels like to have my hockey team destroyed. I'm a Bruins fan. Heh. Smugness intensify as well. The Avalanche can be good. The Avalanche has done decently in years past, but they seem to like to go between being like really good to really bad in like 3 or 4 years stints. But when they were really good, oh man, I could go to like 5 Avalanche games in a row and not be really disappointed. Um, if I had to make a chart, I'd say representation of dwarven women would be 70% unbearded, 30% bearded. And for bearded dwarven women, it used to be like a punchline to a joke. But I think that as we're seeing the demographics of D&D change, we're going to see more canonical dwarven women that aren't like, hey, isn't this funny? And that's fine. I mean, I think if you're going to find a place for it, find a place for it where it's canonically accepted and where it's a thing. But yeah, it's fine. I'm sure we'll see more bearded dwarven women in the future. I would presume. Um, I don't know that I've ever met someone who has played a female dwarf with a beard. The dwarf lady and the rat queens had a beard. Yeah. Well, wait a second. I think I know who you're talking about. Did she have a beard like at one point in the comics? Because I remember reading those and I don't remember her having a beard. But it wouldn't shock me. She shaves it on the regular. Okay, that makes sense. I really do appreciate the Rat Queens comic though, because it is like intensely real in a way that like very few D&D things are, and just like really like what would it be like to be in a D&D world and not be fake, not be like, oh, we are heroes and we're it's very like it's the comparison I would do. Look, I consider it a successful season if my lads get to bully the Leafs again in the playoffs. So yeah, absolutely. um but I'm trying to think of any other canonical like dwarven women with beards. Have you seen the Amazon Vox Machina? Yeah. It's very Rat Queens like. Oh yeah, tremendously so. Yeah. There's a lot of parallels to be drawn there, but I'm really excited. But in fact, I think right after this stream we might be finishing the last 3 episodes of this season, so that'll be fun. But Looney, does that answer your question? Violet with a beard. Yes, very satisfactory answer. Thanks. I do have to say though, like, um, Violet is one of the coolest dwarven characters I think I've ever seen. Um, I really appreciate how they write her. Really, all of the Rat Queen characters. Although maybe the most annoying one is the elf because she's a little bit on the sociopathic side, which is, I guess, funny. But also, maybe I got traumatized by Drakengard. Is that the Yorha one? Yeah, Drakengard. The elf woman in Drakengard being just absolutely bonkers um, was probably what like killed that for me. But anyways, are there any good fantasy comics presently running? Do you know what? Actually, I would highly recommend. I recommend Dungeon Meshi, uh, aka Delicious Dungeon, is the way they translated it in the States. But read that one. Like it starts out being just really goofy, like really jokey, but it ends up being really good. Like I like where it kind of leads as a story, and it starts to get a little bit more serious, and all throughout it gets very specific about like dungeon ecologies and how you would cook creatures you find in dungeons. Um, which I think it's fascinating. Like it's a fascinating look into like what it would be to actually be a dungeon delver. Um, and for all of the goofiness that it does, for all of like the joke a minute that it starts off as, it actually ends up being really cool. And the characters are really endearing too. There's kind of a weird edge to it, similar to Goblin Slayer, where like you can tell that there's a little darkness underneath. Um, but it's really good, and I really appreciate all of the characters. All right. Any other questions? We're at an hour and a half now. Oh, that reminds me of one I read a while back, Dungeon Sherpa. The MC basically guided adventuring parties into dungeons and sold them supplies. Oh, that's really cool. It reminds me of Albert Odyssey, where you had the kind of like the let's see, Albert Odyssey, Cat Girl Merchant, and she wasn't like, this was in the mid '90s, so cat girls weren't a commodity then. So she was just a character that happened to be a cat girl. They didn't really like exploit that terribly much. But she was really cool. I liked her as a character. And because those were the Saturn days, she actually had like a voice vocalized track whenever you'd run into her, and she'd go, "Be careful out there, Swordmaster." And it happened so many times that it just burned into my memory. Most merchants had a Neko-like quality in those games. Yeah, it reminds me of all the Mana games where all the merchants were cat types, except Legend of Mana. Yeah, Mana series had Nico. Yeah, Nico, the merchant, except for Legend of Mana, who had Niccolo, and he was more cat. I'm sorry, he was more rabbit than cat, but it was still good. Um, but all right. Unless there's another question that I've neglected to see, or an incoming one, I think we'll just give it another few minutes and we will stop. An hour and a half is not a bad course of time, and we can go from there. Hope you all had a good night. Hope that we had a proper conversation about D&D games. I know it's kind of hard to keep up with the 8 that I have, um, given that like most of them are kind of in media res. But you know, you'll learn as we go along a little bit about how each game goes. I'll sign off. Thanks for the vicarious adventure. No, that's fantastic. Thank you, Eli. I'm glad to have you here for a second day in a row. I might, as I mentioned, have another Sunday stream Sunday morning. I am Mountain Standard Time, so we'll figure that out, and then come back next week, 7:30 Mountain Standard Time, PM that is, and we will continue doing this on the weekly. So if you have the thought to come and join us, we would love to have you. But yeah, let's. I can rummage in my bag of cues if you want, or I can save some for next stream. Let's go ahead and save some for next stream because an hour 30 sounds like a good jumping off point. That'll give us time to watch those last 3 episodes, and then maybe we'll get some more of that JoJo's OVA watched tonight. All right, y'all. I think we'll call it there. Really good stream today. Really, really happy to have the people who we had. And okie dokie. Have a good one. Thank you, Eli, and we will talk to y'all later. And as always, remember that I am here. This is Games for You, because we plan and play games for you.